Here's some resources you might need. Okay, I'm going to show you how to use your stencil with gel plate printing. So for this task, you're going to need a selection of paper. By all means, mix things up a bit and use different coloured, different textured paper if you want to. You're going to need a brayer or a roller. You're going to need your gel plate print, a selection of different acrylic paints and your stencil. Okay, so to get started, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my plate to create a background. It's entirely up to you what colours you choose. You can explore different colours to what you've previously used. I've just gone for a green and black. And then roll that out so you've got a nice thin, even layer. Okay, and then once you've done that, we are going to create a first print. And we want that, we want all of that paint to be picked up on the print. So use the flat of your hand. And then just take that off. So that is my background print. I'll put that to one side to dry, and then I'll start thinking about what colours might work well for the leafy design in the foreground. And because I've chosen such a dark background, I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is use some whites as well as greens, perhaps just a little bit of green. And I'm just going to position my stencil where I want it on the plate. And make sure it's nice and flattened down. Especially if you've got a really intricate design, you need to be really careful because it will be very fragile. Okay. Okay, I'm going to really carefully apply my paint. I'm not going to put the paint onto the gel. I'm just going to put it around the edge on the tracing paper or the stencil. I'm still going to use a little bit of that brassy green as well. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit like that. I've purposely not cleaned off my my brayer because I don't mind if I've still got some dark elements to it. And I'm just going to really carefully roll the paint over the top. And gently peel off your stencil. You need to be really gentle if you want to use it again. Okay, put that to one side. And then take your background. When you are doing prints with layering, it's a good idea to mark it out. So I have not done that this time, but it's a good idea to mark out just so as you get the placement right, especially if you're layering over the top of a design in a specific way. This is quite a random print, so it doesn't matter too much for this one, but it's a good idea to mark it out. And I'm just going to really gently, hopefully transfer that design nicely. Hope it picks that up. And that's worked. Okay, so there's my design. Obviously my stencil design was very basic, so if it was more detailed, that would be a lot more interesting. But what I can do now is I can go back and I can add another layer using the pieces that I kept from my stencil. Okay, so this time I am going to have a go at using the pieces that I cut out from my stencil to create a third layer over the top of my print. So what I've done is I've selected a colour which is contrasting to what I've already chosen. So I've been using black and some green. So I've chosen some yellow ochre and some white for this third layered print. And then what I'm going to do is just really carefully lay my pieces. Now they've become so delicate that you need to be so careful, but lay my pieces over the top of my gel plate. And I'm not placing them where they were on the design. I'm just going to be placing them kind of random, and also think about them crossing over the on the original design. So if you look at my first design, I'll just move that across. Okay, so it's slightly differently placed. I wasn't able to save all of the pieces from my stencil, and I mean, that's fine. It's all experimentation. If you've got quite an intricate design, then you're probably not going to be able to save the pieces that you cut out. And if you have a lot of islands in your design as well, it's going to be really tricky to replace those as well. So don't worry if you don't get any pieces left over. You can always cut out some other shapes as well and experiment with different shapes. Okay, I'm just going to press those down, and then I'm going to lift those off. So I just want them to take off a layer of the paint where they're sitting. Okay, I'm just going to remove those. I might even add some more as well. And go off the edge as well. Really fill that whole space. And at this stage, if you wanted to add more textures as well, you can do. Use different mark making materials. Remove that. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that to one side. Probably won't be able to use those again. I'm going to do a third layer now. So this is where it's really important to mark out your gel plate. So you always put it in the same place. I haven't done that, so I'm just going to lay it over the top. Like this. And then just see how it comes out. I'm just going to be really gentle with the way I press down. I don't want the whole layer to be picked up. I don't want all of the yellow ochre to be picked up. I don't want to completely lose the green and the black in the background. Just some areas. And there we go. That's come out so nice actually. Really happy with that. Pop that to one side. I've still got quite a lot of paint on my gel plate. Never waste that. Grab another piece of paper and take that off as well. And then just see what comes of that. Sometimes you get really good happy accidents, and it's always worth taking off a layer if it's left on there. You can use that as a background for the next print. Okay, so there we have my gel plate prints using a stencil. Give it a go yourselves.